Look, I get it. There are moments when life feels heavy for no clear reason. You're doing what you're supposed to do. You're showing up. You're trying. And still, something feels off. Like you're stuck in the same place while everyone else is moving forward. If that's you right now, let me tell you something. You probably don't hear enough. You're not broken. You're not behind. You're human. You know what's crazy? Most people don't struggle because they're lazy or unmotivated. They struggle because they're tired. Tired of trying and not seeing results. Tired of explaining their dreams to people who don't understand. Tired of carrying expectations that were never really theirs to begin with. And over time, that tiredness turns into doubt. Quiet doubt. The kind that whispers, maybe this is all there is. Here's the part nobody tells you. Feeling stuck is often a sign that you're outgrowing your old life. Think about it. When you're comfortable, you don't feel tension. When you're growing, you do. That pressure you feel, that restlessness, that's not failure. That's transition, and transitions are uncomfortable by nature. We've all felt that moment where you look at your life and think, I should be further along by now. But further, compared to what? Someone else's timeline. Someone else's highlight reel. Most people never show the nights they cried in their car, or the years they felt lost, or the times they almost gave up. They just show the finish line and pretend the struggle didn't exist. And this might surprise you. Progress doesn't always look like progress. Sometimes it looks like confusion. Sometimes it looks like boredom. Sometimes it looks like questioning everything you thought you wanted. That doesn't mean you're failing. It means you're becoming more aware. Most people get stuck here, right in the middle. Not where they started, but not where they want to be either. And the middle is uncomfortable because there's no applause there. No clear direction. Just uncertainty. But the middle is also where growth happens. If you let Italiano, here's a hard truth, said with care. No one is coming to save you. Not because you don't deserve help, but because this part of your life requires you to step up for yourself. Waiting for motivation to magically appear is like waiting for confidence before you act. Confidence comes after action, not before Italiano. Look, you don't need to overhaul your entire life today. You don't need a perfect plan. You don't need to suddenly feel fearless. You just need to do one small thing that aligns with the person you want to become. One honest step. One difficult conversation. One decision you've been avoiding. That's how momentum is built. And here's the part nobody expects. Discipline isn't about punishment. It's about self-respect. It's about saying, even when I don't feel like it, I still show up because my future self matters. Motivation comes and goes. Self-respect is what stays. You're allowed to change your mind. You're allowed to want something different than you wanted 5 years ago. Growth doesn't mean staying loyal to old dreams. Growth means having the courage to admit when something isn't working anymore. Wait, it gets better. The version of you who feels lost right now is learning lessons. The confident version of you will rely on later. You're building resilience. You're building awareness. You're learning what you won't tolerate anymore. That matters more than you think. There will be days when you feel behind. Days when comparison steals your joy. Days when quitting feels tempting. But don't confuse familiar with safe. Staying stuck is comfortable, but it's also expensive. It costs you your potential. This is where everything changes. Not when you suddenly feel inspired, but when you decide that staying the same hurts more than changing. Growth begins the moment discomfort becomes acceptable in service of something better. Let me say this clearly. You don't need to be extraordinary to live a meaningful life. You need to be honest. Honest about what drains you. Honest about what excites you. Honest about the habits that keep you small. And honest about the effort you're willing to give. You know what builds confidence? Keeping promises to yourself. Even small ones. Especially small ones. When you say you'll do something and you do it, you send a message to your brain that you can be trusted. Over time, that trust compounds. Life isn't asking you to be perfect. It's asking you to participate. To stop waiting for the right mood, the right timing, the right version of yourself. That version is built by showing up. And if no one has told you this lately, let me be the one. You're allowed to move at your own pace. Healing, growth, and success are not races. They're relationships with yourself. Treat that relationship with patience. One day, you'll look back at this season and realize it didn't break you. It shaped you. It taught you strength you didn't know you had. It forced you to listen to yourself. And that will be the moment you realize being stuck was never the end of the story. It was the beginning of a new chapter. So if this message found you at the right time, take it as a sign. Keep going. Take the step. Make the choice. You don't need to see the whole path, just enough to move forward. If this message hit you, comment iron below. This channel isn't for everyone, only for those who choose discipline over comfort. Subscribe if you re one of Tim. I'll see you at the top.